Hi everyone, today I have the third walkthrough video. This saw was a 29.78 single from my 31.81 average of 5 at home on my channel. There wasn't really anything particularly noteworthy about this solve, but I wanted to go over it anyways to see what goes into a sub 30 time. On top of this, the solve is not the best in terms of mechanics, so there may be a few more editing cuts than usual to not miss any stray moves. That's all for this introduction, and enjoy the rest of the video. For the star, you have purple here, green here, yellow here as a pair, blue here, and then red here. I also have this pair that I can just attach together with one move. For my solution, these don't go together because green has to go next to purple instead of 2 away. But if I do a B, I can just slide these two pieces down and solve purple, yellow, blue. And then for red and green, I can just loop this around and then do a 2-gen solution. I mentioned before that I can try to like work this into a first pair possibly, and the thing I did was I just did a simple F prime. It keeps the two pieces together at the start, and even though they split up after doing the 2 moves to solve these 2 edges, the case that comes after is still pretty good. So for my actual solution, yeah, so I did a B, F prime, these 2, and these split off, which is into a pretty good case. And I loop this around. I did a U2 and a U instead of a U2 prime at the start, so kind of made a little bit of a mistake there. And then I just do this. I also, instead of doing a D2 prime, I did a D2 and then a D. It was like this. It's not very good, but didn't really hamper the solve too much. And for my first pair, I have this yellow-blue right in front of me, so I'm just going to pair these up and insert these. I know I had the blue-red on the other side, but one thing about Mega is that sometimes, even if you plan a first pair in inspection, you won't really end up going to it all the time. But fortunately, since Mega has like 5 sides, or 5 sides for F2L instead of 4, you'll find that stuff tends to preserve itself more. So here the blue-red just stays completely untouched. For the rest of F2L, I left off here. I only see a red-green edge for the F2L pairs, so I'm just going to go rotate to the right and push this to the left. Here I see a blue-red pair and a green edge. I didn't really see any corners for either of these two, so I'm going to go for this, which is pretty easy to do because it just pairs up right in front of me, and then I insert it in my left. For some reason, I did a few extra turns, one here, and one here, so just like a B prime and a U2. I'm not really sure what I did that for. Doesn't change this. Didn't really set this up in a good way or anything, but I did those moves, and then I solved the blue-red pair in the standard way like this. After solving the blue-red pair, I just pushed it to the left again. Here I see a green-purple edge, a green-purple corner, and a red-green edge. Here I also made some questionable choices, but they weren't really hard to understand at all. It was just a bit of a mix-up. Instead of doing a U2 prime, I did a U2 and a U for the green-purple pair, like this. And then for the actual pairing, I just do RU prime, R prime, and insert. For the last 2 F2L pairs, we have the green-red here, and then the purple-yellow here. I didn't really remember that this corner was solved, but I just saw both of these 2 pieces at the same time. And for this pair, I did a pretty standard F2L insertion, or just a pretty simple one, not really standard, because this takes advantage of some of the Megaminx freedoms. But the moves are U prime, R2, and then insert. I also did an extra U prime, which didn't really have much of a purpose here. And then for this purple yellow, just bring this up, and then do the undo U prime R prime to pair the pieces up, and then do a hedge slammer to insert. For the red S12 edges, I have the cream red here and the pink red here. I inserted the cream red first because it's right in front of me, and to do so I did R prime F2. For some reason I did this pair first instead of just inserting the next red edge, but the case I used was this. This execution involves a R3 prime, but it usually flows pretty well, so I haven't really had much problems with the technically inoptimal turning. But after that, I just inserted the red pink edge, and I got pretty lucky here because if I insert with R prime FR like this, I get a solved pair here. And then for this last pair I did. For the next S12 color, which is green, I already have the edge solved, and I have this edge here and this corner here. The other pairs here, neither are very good, but I just decided to go for the blue-purple because I already have an edge in front. I already have a corner in front of me. My actual solution for this case wasn't very good though. I did an R2 prime, then took this out as a 3-move insert, and then just slammed this in. This also involved a R3 prime, but again, didn't really cause too much of a pause, and it flowed pretty smoothly, so nothing too consequential. And then for this cream-blue pair, it's a better case now. All I have to do is B2, U2 prime, and then R prime, and then I'll have a pair. So I just insert this with a F move insert like this. Now I got pretty lucky again because this purple edge is already solved, and I have a pair in front of me. This is a standard F2L case where I just do, and here just check around for the blue-orange edge, which ends up being back here. So for this I do R2 prime, E2 prime, pair it up with an F move, and then insert with L moves. This last S2L phase of the solve was really weird. Normally I just do the edge first, which is pretty easy in this case because it's just 2-gen, but I guess I saw this first, so I decided to pair it up with an R2U R prime. It led to this pair being solved, which is good, but I don't think I did this next part very well. What I did specifically was I inserted this pair, then brought this edge around, formed the 2x2 block, and then pushed it to the bottom, then reinserted this pair like that. Very inefficient. I think the execution was still pretty fast, but I do think if I took a closer look, with like an untimed look, I'd probably find something a lot better. But anyways, I have this last pair. I just move this in front. Here I did a bit of an EO kind of thing. Instead of just taking out the pair regularly, did something like this. And then a hedge slammer to get a fully oriented last layer. Here, instead of doing the standard OCLO alg, I did a bit of the COLO alg from 3x3 that goes like this. This is to preserve the 2x2 block here fully, which can help a lot with PLO recognition. And then here I have a clockwise edge cycle with a 2x2 block, and the alg for this is basically an R perm that goes like this. Moving on to the extra options part of this video. For this part of the solve where you have the green edge finished here, you could make a cream blue pair like this, and then just loop it around to this slot. Another thing you could do for purple blue is you could just bring this down here with an R2 prime as before, but instead of doing an RU2 R prime, you could do a head slammer and then insert it with a wide insertion, just like in the original solve. Here is the last S2L face with the yellow edge again. I said I wanted to do this a little bit differently. I think the first few moves that would still be to finish the orange pair like this. Here I think I would insert the edge. Here I think I would do something different by inserting this edge instead of inserting this pair. And the way I would do that is like this. Then I can just do an F prime, insert this, and then I have a pretty easy last case. Thanks for watching this video. I know that it was choppier than usual, but for the next video I already have the reconstruction done, and I think it'll be more similar to the first two, rather than this one. That's all for today, and see you in the next video.